and welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck. And as always, you know we love hearing from y'all. Your comments, your stories, your ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always drop an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Riding along shotgun, as always, my producer, sound engineer, and co-host Jeff Tigger Earhart is in the house. And I just introduced him to some music.
Don't even get me started on this. You can't even compare Def Leppard to, who is this? The Offspring?
Yes, The Offspring. Pretty fly for a white guy.
But
and I'm staring at one.
We had an argument about the beginning of that song, but it was Def Leppard, Rock of Ages, that had the beginning of that song that says, "Und our Klepen, Klauten, Kloben."
And now you learned that there was another band that used it too.
They took it from Def Leppard. Don't even.
All right, so we're not here to discuss music because, as you can tell, we are on two different levels.
Amen, sister.
All right, the big news this week, in case you had missed it, was the Biscuit Basin in Yellowstone National Park temporarily closed due to a hydrothermal explosion. That happened back on Tuesday, July 23rd at about 10:19 in the morning, according to the Yellowstone National Park Service. A localized hydrothermal explosion occurred near Sapphire Pool in Biscuit Basin, which is located just north of Old Faithful.
Is that a fancy words for a geyser?
You got it.
Okay, thank you. That's kind of what I figured. You were trying to fancy it all up.
The Biscuit Basin, including the parking lot and boardwalks, are temporarily closed for safety reasons, and the Grand Loop Road has been able to remain open. And it was caught on film, the actual explosion, and we have that video for you to view on the Ben Show Facebook page as well as on our website, thebenshow.com.
That was all over news. That was all over that was everywhere, and everybody was kind of just like, "Oh, look at this! It's exploding!" And then everybody went, boiling hot water coming at me, and then took off running. Now, did anybody, do you know, that got hurt from that?
Thankfully, there were none reported. No injuries were reported. At the time that I looked this all up here this morning.
Do you know how hot the water is coming out of there?
I have no idea. I just know I would
back.
not want that to touch me because I did see footage of the boardwalk, the park benches. Let's just put it this way. Those that were right next to it, no more. The rest of them burned up. I mean, you would not have wanted to be close. So when the trail says this is not a trail, or they talk about those areas in Yellowstone or anywhere that has geysers.
Don't climb on the rocks or something like that. Don't do it.
Yes, absolutely follow the directions.
But you do have the video on your website, right?
Yes, you can find it at thebendshow.com. All right. Other news that I thought was worth sharing, in case you'd not heard about this, Hawaii faces significant ecological challenges due to feral hogs, which are not only disrupting their native ecosystems, but also promoting the spread of invasive plants. Now, you know that wild hogs have been on both Tigger's and my radar. We're always talking about reporting them if you see them. Well, research from the University of Wisconsin-Madison shows that areas with higher densities of feral pigs have increased non-native plant growth as the pig's rooting behavior disturbs the soil and favors fast-growing invasive species. The disruption is particularly problematic in Hawaii, whose ecosystems did not evolve with large hoofed animals like feral hogs. Consequently, the state's fragile ecosystem struggles to recover, making it uniquely vulnerable compared to mainland states. Despite the efforts, managing the feral hog population remains difficult due to their high reproductive rates. Well, we see that all across the United States. We're talking billions of dollars of damages are done every year. So I'm bringing this story up just as
in case we want to get flown to Hawaii and hunt said feral hogs.
I know.
How many people are thinking that right now?
You just got
out
excited.
there and saying, okay.
Well, just because that's been a hot topic as these hogs are being found in other states that typically aren't known for them, like the Dakotas, northern Minnesota. They're coming over from Canada. We've heard of super hogs. Again, I'm going to say, if you come across hogs, don't initially think you can hunt them. There are laws in almost every state regulating whether you can or can't. And sadly, you can't in most of those in the upper part of the United States. They have very strict rules where when you head down south, a Texas hog hunt is just another day, right?
So in some states where you can get like a fur bearer's license and you can go and you can hunt coyotes and you can hunt, coons and rabbits. The hogs aren't part of that?
Correct. All right. We'll use the state of North Dakota as an example, okay? In North Dakota, it is against the law to hunt or take down a wild feral hog.
Do they have any kind of a hunting season?
No, they do not. They do not. You are required to let the
report them,
North Dakota Game and Fish know, let the state veterinarian know right
DNRs.
away.
Okay,
correct. Gotcha. Of the location, and they state that they will go in and remove said species. Therefore, shooting feral pigs is illegal in North Dakota unless a person is protecting property or livestock.
Well, that's exactly what they're going to be doing up there. I guarantee that.
Okay, we're going to change topics.
Okay.
We are not getting ourselves into trouble on this one. All right. According to Outdoor Life, Wade Lemon, a Utah big game outfitter, was sentenced to 2 months in prison and fined $10,500 for orchestrating illegal canned mountain lion hunts on public lands in 2020 and 21. Lemon's hunts involved mountain lions being treed and held in place until paying hunters arrived, violating the Lacey Act. His guide, Casey Allen Yardley, received 6 months probation for his role in these hunts. This isn't Lemon's first legal issue. He has faced multiple accusations of illegal hunting practices, including a fraudulent scheme back in 2018. Lemon has been investigated numerous times for similar wildlife violations.
That dude should be in the clink as far as I'm concerned.
This is just a good reminder to always vet out your guides before you book that trip. Next on my list, Tigger, listen to this. What to eat and avoid to repel mosquitoes. Yeah, he's one of those guys. The mosquitoes find Tigger no matter how much spray I think he puts on.
Continue.
According to the Florida Medical Entomology Laboratory, they show that certain foods make people more appealing to mosquitoes. Experts are saying people should avoid smelly cheeses, bananas. You're like a minion over there with your bananas anyway.
I like bananas.
Desserts, floral-scented foods, and beer for the rest of the summer because they actually attract mosquitoes.
Stupid. This is dumb.
Instead, foods with sweet basil, sage, rosemary, garlic, and onions repel mosquitoes.
This is dumb. Just use off.
I don't think there's enough off for you. That's why I'm bringing this up.
Go on to something else.
All right, let's talk food. Watermelon pizza is trending right now. Have you heard about this? Well, people are grilling large circular slices of watermelon before topping it with marinara sauce, mozzarella cheese, and pepperoni. They then are finishing their pizza by taking a creme brulee torch to the top of it. I don't think any of us really actually use a creme brulee torch.
None of us know what you're talking about right now. None of us know what that is.
Well, at any rate, regardless, I'm just
say
curious.
acetylene torch.
Tigger, would you ever try this? Watermelon with marinara, cheese, and pepperoni.
Okay, I would try it, but I'm not a big one for pineapple on pizza anyway, so I'm not thinking I'm going to be a lover of the pizza, marinara, and creme brulee, blah, blah, blah.
All right. So you're saying some of these TikTokers need to go back to the kitchen and start over.
Go out and have my beer and my can of off and smoke a stogie, and it's all good.
Time for a quick break. The Ben Show will be back right after this.
You asked for it, you got it. Watch the Cowboy Channel anytime, anywhere with the Cowboy Channel Plus. Live stream the Cowboy Channel or watch your favorite PRCA rodeos on demand. Classic PRCA rodeos added weekly. Get the Cowboy Channel Plus for only $9.99 a month or save 25% by signing up for a full year. Visit cowboychannelplus.com to sign up and start streaming today.
The hunt is planned. The guide is booked. The trip is blocked off in the calendar. But one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
Before you head to the next rodeo, a concert, maybe a gathering on or off the ranch, we head to Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Tigger and Beck here for Medora Boot and Western Wear. Latest Western fashion in boots, jackets, and hats.
From durable ranch wear to keeping the horses in sturdy tack, visit medoraboot.com to order.
Or better yet, plan to visit Medora, North Dakota and shop Medora Boot and Western Wear.
Again, go to medoraboot.com. You can follow on Facebook and tell them Tigger and Beck sent you.
Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and Red Long Shotgun, as always, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. How many of you are tuned into the Olympics now that they have kicked off in Paris, France?
We can't play that music because of copyright.
Watch.
So I'll just hum it.
We're probably going to get in trouble just for the way you even hummed it. Okay?
That's my version of it. So there we go.
Not on key by any means. All right. How many of you tuned in? Did you happen to notice LeBron James was the flag bearer for Team USA? And Snoop Dogg earlier was the USA torchbearer.
He was one of them.
He's all over this thing on the reporting side. How he got that gig, I would love to know, all right?
I kind of like his style, though. I mean, he's come along and he's become very popular.
He's a bit chillaxed, right?
Maybe that's the word we use for it. I don't know.
Well, he's definitely bringing along, I would say, a whole different demographic of followers and watchers of this year's Olympics. So That's not necessarily a bad thing.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I know you are kind of a sports nut. Do you know the newest event that they have in the Olympics this year?
It's called breaking, a.k.a. breakdancing.
Very good.
And Tigger, your
I tried.
You failed.
I didn't make it. I have no idea how they come up with some of the events that they have. I looked into this, and the new events that were added at Tokyo 4 years ago are coming back. Skateboarding, sport climbing, that sounds cool. Surfing, and 3-on-3 basketball. That would be your jam.
I love playing 3-on-3 basketball. That would totally be my jam.
Gets a little physical, I would imagine.
I love getting scrappy. That's all I can say. I love being scrappy. But, you know, this marks the 100th anniversary since the last time it was in Paris, France, in case some of you had heard about that or didn't realize. And 100 years ago, there were only 44 nations represented at the Olympic Games that year in 1924. Compared to this year, there are 206 countries being represented.
That have at least one athlete in there. Okay, so let me just see if I'm going to ask you a few trivia on this, see if you know. How many different sports are represented at the Paris Olympics this year?
I believe there are 32.
That is very good, 32. And do you know what is considered the least popular sport? Now, this is, again, subjective based on different surveys, this, that, and the other, but generally speaking,
I do, actually, because I don't agree with this. And maybe I might be wrong. Maybe it's changed. But my understanding is it was the equestrian, the dressage portion.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I actually enjoy watching the equestrian.
When you can see some of those cool events, yeah.
Yes, but I got to admit, I can see where the dressage is maybe, I hate to say this, a little bit boring. Or people just, I think, more or less don't understand dressage, how it is, how you are making that horse move. The motions, they don't really understand it. Not like if you're watching eventing of the equestrian or the show jumping.
Get it.
Where you're
I
actually
I
seeing
can get that.
The poles drop, they hit the poles. They understand what they're being judged on.
But dressage is one of the most difficult equine disciplines that there is out there.
Let me tell you this. A few years back.
You tried it, didn't you?
Yes, a few years back. Like I said, born and raised on a ranch. I've been training horses since I was probably about 12 years old. I did try dressage. I did take it up as well as doing some jumping. And I got to say, I'm glad I did. It was like learning how to walk again. But this is the reason why I'm glad I did, especially for you fellow equestrians, people that enjoy horseback riding, is when I travel to different countries, I like to go horseback riding where they are. In most other countries, they're going to ride English, FYI.
Oh, that would make total sense.
And it has helped me immensely.
But they don't air the equestrian events very much, or if they do, it's at very odd times. And
I know.
Those are the events that I like to watch, the ones that you don't see every day. You know, I like to watch Fencing. I mean,
You
know,
do.
because, I mean, I'm a guy and they're playing with swords. I mean, come on. I mean, it's not like lightsabers or something, which would be really cool. But I want to see something like that. I want to see something different. I want to see the kayaking. I don't just want to watch diving over and over and over again
But you
or
see,
track and field.
I actually like the diving. I'm not much into track and field, that one, but that's probably because I'm not much of a runner. But I do like...
Unless you're being chased.
Yes,
You
exactly.
can move pretty fast if that's the situation. Speaking of swimming, I'm sorry, I'm jumping in. I do, and I'm going to admit this, I like to watch synchronized swimming. No, don't even give me that look. Because
I know why.
No, think about it. That
Really?
these gals, they're holding their breath and they're upside down and they're doing these different movements to try to keep their bodies, perpendicular or something like that. I think that's amazing.
I think you're envisioning them as mermaids.
Oh, come on now. Come on. I like to watch it because it's something different. You don't get to see that every day.
Well, then what about water polo?
I like to watch water polo.
Okay.
I like to watch taekwondo. I used to be in taekwondo. I like to watch those events that you normally just aren't going to see every day.
I have to say one of my favorite sports to watch is the kayak slalom. Have you ever seen that?
I've seen it, but they don't air a lot of it.
I know.
I wish they would, because those are the ones you just don't see all the time.
It's aired in like off weird hours, but it is fascinating to see them work those obstacles going down that fast.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put this link in the show notes at thebendshow.com. We're going to make it real easy for you to kind of follow along the various different sports. And I had to look in, or I should say the different events, the competitions. One I had to look into is called Modern Pentathlon. Now, this is something I could get into. This is equestrian, so you get a little of your horse fix there. It's fencing, so you get to do sword fighting, right? They got to run. I wouldn't be good at that necessarily. They got to swim, but during that run, they have to shoot these little laser pistols, so they have to slow down and control their breathing. Not a rifle, a pistol, and it's called the Modern Pentathlon. 5 different events in one.
Wow. Okay, I've not heard about this one either. That's crazy.
I didn't know about this. I had to look it up. So make sure you got that link in your show notes so people can snoop on there and see some of the different events that are going on.
We absolutely will have it there. You can head to thebendshow.com for that. Now I've got a question for y'all. What are you going to be watching, or what are you most interested in this year's Paris Olympics 2024? We want to hear from you. You can call or text 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can drop an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Regardless, Tigger and I are both saying, go Team USA. We're going to take a short break. The Ben Show will be back right after this. You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom-designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadron Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Armand with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again. Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Warner, a.k.a. Beck, and Ride Along Shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. Now, this bit is kind of focused, I'm going to put it this way, it's about the ladies.
This one's for the girls.
Nicely done today. Look at you.
Who sings that song?
Martina McBride.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Yes. Who is the master of tunes? Beck. That's right. Okay. This one here was in the news, and they were talking about women flocking to buy freezer dresses. Well, here's the deal, though. I looked into it because of the heat wave that many of us are suffering from. Women are flocking to buy Columbia, as in the brand Columbia, as Columbia stores have their new Freezer 3 dress out, is what it's called. And it's made of a swimsuit-like fabric. The dress draws sweat and heat away from the body. It also offers UVA and UVB protection. And the dress costs right around $41. And some women are actually throwing it in their freezers before putting it on, so it's nice and cold already.
Oh, so literally, when you said freezer dress, literally.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're throwing it in the freezer and chilling it before they
Okay.
put it on. Now, I got to say, I have to say a thumbs up because I looked at what the new Freezer 3 dress was from Columbia, and here I have a couple of the prior versions hanging in my closet, and I use them when we are out fishing, or if I know I'm going to, say, an event or a backyard barbecue, and I want to look kind of cute.
Have the pockets on them, kind of?
Yes,
They're
it has
kind of handy dandy.
Yeah, they have a hidden zipper pocket on the side of them, and I got to say, I have a couple of versions, and they're all several years old, and they have held up extremely well. And they do just as they say; they dry quickly. So,
What's that word you use to describe when they're handy dandy?
Utilitarian.
There you go,
I am a
utilitarian.
true utilitarian
That's
type clothing shopper. So, gals, if you're looking for a dress that's easy, comfy, dries, you look kind of cute, you can wear it for a lot of different things, even as a swimsuit cover up, check out those dresses from Columbia. Next, this crossed my wires, and I am all for this. They're talking about how women have been spending a lot of money on adult summer camps. This is according to the New York Post. And they're saying they're ladies-only summer camps, and women are replacing, say, the juice boxes with fancy wine. They're still doing some of the same classic camp activities like making s'mores, and maybe they're doing some crafts, not necessarily friendship bracelets.
I think
but
you got everybody with wine.
I know. But what I'm going to say is this is awesome. I am loving seeing this because as gals, we do need a break. And how often do you treat yourself to go and actually do something with just the gals? And it's more than just like one night every 3 months. How about a weekend, 2 or 3 nights, booking a cabin, doing something with your girlfriends?
I can concede on that because you are good about letting us do our fishing trips and hunting trips and doing all of that. Okay, I will concede. I see that.
Yes, I might tend to crash elk camp, but I'm not the typical gal. A lot of times it is, this is the guys' trip. You guys are going to do this. You have it planned out. Well, I am suggesting, guys, get behind your ladies, surprise them, and just start working towards getting them to go do this because I think it will refresh your relationship. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not bad to have some distance, to get away for a couple of days and then come home.
Just for them to do something for them or
Yes.
for you in this situation.
Yes.
For you to, would you recommend with other girlfriends or just go to one of these?
Either or.
Gotcha.
I would say either or. Get together, maybe a couple of friends that you've had forever that you click, that you travel well with, or vice versa. You are trying to make new friendships, meet new people, network. Go on go by yourself alone and meet new people. I enjoy meeting new people all the time, and I've traveled to many places all by myself, and it's always been a good time.
I'm sure the price ranges are from the
Depends what you want to do,
posh
okay?
with panache to something quite affordable.
And I'm going to bring this up because Tigger has been very positive about this. I'm in the works of planning my next trip, and that is one to Zion National Park in October with some girlfriends, and we are going to rent a yurt. We're going to stay in one of those. It's going to be more glamping than a typical hiking, backpacking trip in, but I love that he's been behind me. And you know what? That's really made me feel like he understands who I am.
So are you going to be disappointed that you are going to miss pheasant opener on our place?
I did bring that up to the gals when we booked it. And I
Just
got
saying.
told, Beck, have you ever missed one before? I said, no. They said, see, they'll send you pictures. So, gals, whether it is doing something like I'm going to do, booking a trip with just the girls, Here's the other way to have a retreat if you can't find one by searching for one is just get your girlfriends together and book an Airbnb, even in your own backyard. You know, it could be just an hour away from you, but take that time to reconnect, unplug from the daily grind, and do something with your gal pals. And that is all for this week, folks. Remember to keep sending in your questions, or if you know of something spot-worthy for us to share, maybe a recipe we need to test out in our very own cabin kitchen. I am going to say I don't know if I'm going to try that watermelon with the marinara sauce we talked about earlier, though. I might pass on that one, but we're open to other suggestions. Also, we want to know what your field reports. How is it happening? Are you scouting deer already? And what are you seeing? That number again, you can call or text anytime, 305-900-2363. Again, 305-900-2363. Or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. If you missed part of this episode or you want to hear past shows, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com. And be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to The Ben Show YouTube channel. Thank you to our partners, Ditali Outdoors, The Prairie Crocus, Medora Boot and Western Wear, Blue Water Girl Charters, Buckstorm, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, ToxicCalls.com, Atlas Tracks, RFD TV, and Wrangler. Finally, a big thanks to all you listeners that came along once again. And whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram at The Bend Show. This is Rebecca Warner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Bend.